Very good afternoon, Hardik, Rishi. Welcome to the class.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Was it enough? 30-minute break?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nice, nice, very nice. Good, good. So while we wait for others to join, students, make sure you check what you had done in the last class and see if you have any doubts, anything that you discuss with me directly. We can discuss it one-on-one. Also, update me on your update report. How much of the reading have you finished? And when are you completing it? Hardik, Rishi, Jyotsna and Twarita, good afternoon. Welcome to the class. I hope you can hear me well. Twarita, Jyotsna, you can hear me well, right? Very good afternoon. So, please take a look at what we had done. See if you have any doubts. And also update me on your reading task. Update me where you stand. Have you finished it? Are you waiting for something?
So I've missed the first lecture of aircraft performance. I've attended the second lecture, so I've yet to do the assignment, and also I think so I don't have the PDF of the readings, so I need that.
PDF of the reading, let me check. I will check. Thank you for the confirmation, Twarita. Okay, thank you for the update. I'll just check. If I have not received it, I'll send it again. How about Jyotsna, Hardik, and Rishi? Verbally tell me, what's the update on the reading task? How much is left? How much is done? And when will you finish it? You can tell me your update on these lines quick.
Sir, I've done it.
Hardik, completely?
Yes, sir.
Read it once completely?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Rishi, how about you? Jyotsna, how about you?
I have also completely read it, sir.
Very nice. Very good. Very nice. Well done, students. So let me know if you want a further explanation on certain points, like Hardik is asking me a few points. Rishi, you can ask. Jyotsna, you can ask. You can just put that in the parking lot and share that parking lot with me. Anyway that works. Okay, let's settle down. Today we're going to do something very fun, very short, very interesting, very easy. Something that, sorry. Good. Harsim, welcome to the class, Harsim. How do you read? So Saksham, Sardip, and
Read you
Anshul.
5, sir. How do you read?
Read you 5. Very happy to see you. Very nice. So Harsim, have you attended the past 2 lectures on performance? Yeah, Harsim. Harsim, I cannot hear you. Read you 1.
Read you 5, sir. Sorry, can you please repeat?
Yeah, sure. Harsim, have you studied performance lecture 1 and performance lecture 2? Basically the 2 classes, yesterday and day before yesterday.
No, sir. I was not able to join yesterday. I was joining, but I was not able to get anything because of the network issue.
And how about trying to learn it offline over YouTube? Did you not get an opportunity to do that?
No, sir. Today I'll do that. Sorry.
Okay. No, don't be sorry. It's okay. I'm just keeping a personal track because you were not there in the past 2 sessions. Okay. So you follow study nicely. You can do both in the same day also back to back. Okay. But I understand, Harsim, I want to talk to you so that we can discuss how we can fix connectivity issues for you, because exams are on the way. So we want to make sure that you're clear by then.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah.
connect with me, maybe try and not tonight, of course, but maybe tomorrow we can talk.
Okay.
And I want to also I want an update about other navigation lectures. So have you missed any other lectures in the past
No,
which
sir,
you
I've
need to
completed
study?
those.
So are you saying you have completed till lecture 17? Everything. 18 and 19 is what you have missed and 20 is today. Is
Sir,
that
the
right?
previous 2 lectures I have missed. All other lectures I have completed.
Good, good, good. Very nice. Very happy. And how about RT Harsim? Because I've not seen you alive in RT also. So how are you faring with RT? Have you missed any sessions in RT?
Sir, I'm doing that also on YouTube.
YouTube.
RT
Okay.
is my RT is up to date because I'm giving that daily time. So
So basically, there's no backlog of lectures, at
no,
least.
sir, not in RT. Just in navigation, I just to do
Just the
these
last
two
two.
lectures,
Very
previous
good.
2 lectures.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. I was a little worried because we were not in touch. So I thought maybe you're missing lectures, but very happy to see you're not missing lectures. Very nice. Keep it up. Okay, good. Whenever you finish these 2 lectures, do update me, okay? All right. Anchal is not there. I'm not sure. I'll just check with her. And just a second. See, students, just take a couple of minutes to see if you have any questions, and then we'll get started for the topic today. Like I said, today's topic is going to be very interesting. You don't need to get into a concept, then theory, then basics, then numericals. No, it's simple. Simple explanation, simple calculations, direct. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So Saksham is also not joining. Lakshya is not there. Saudip will be late, right? And who else? Anchal. Anchal is not there. Jyotsna is here. She's here. Hardik is here. Tarita is here. Very nice. Nukul and Mohammed Azam will be joining later. Nimisha will be joining later. Fine. Harsim is here. Good. All right. Rishi, what about you? When will you complete your first morning lecture from today? Metrology.
Sir, today or tomorrow?
Okay, you'll be studying on Sunday also. That's nice. Okay. 1 minute, okay, students, you'll just get started. Make sure you're nicely settled, going through your notes, see if you have any questions, any discussions. Hardik, can you tell me these things that you were asking yesterday? Firstly, Hardik, please, students, with respect to your navigation doubts that you have discussed with me on WhatsApp, if those doubts have not yet been sorted, please just highlight it again over WhatsApp chat right now. Hardik, do you do it? I think a couple of questions. If I've not answered, just highlight it again. Like you can just reply to it, and I will get it as the latest message. Just do that on WhatsApp right now so that I get the latest doubts which I can solve right now for you. So that I don't have to go through the chat history. Basically, it will save me some extra time. So what do we say? Yeah, 1 second, okay. Do that. See if you have anything that is unsolved. Okay, so Adhika sent it to me. I'll just read it out. Net performance, difference between VFS and VFTO, difference between indicated airspeed, equivalent airspeed and indicated airspeed. All right. So out of this, Hardik, net performance. Isn't net performance one of those three performances that we have written down? Check your notes from lecture, the first lecture in performance. So we have what? We have a measured performance, we have a gross performance, and we have a net performance, right? Am I right, students? So net performance, okay? Let's analyze, okay? Let's say that you have to take off your aircraft under certain configuration, under certain runway lengths. You have to take off the aircraft at a rate of climb, let's say a steady rate of climb of 500 feet per minute. Okay, that's the required performance that you have to maintain during your takeoff phase. Let's say that is the level of performance you need to achieve. This performance that the pilot directly needs to achieve, the level of performance for that particular aspect, that is 500 feet per minute, that is net performance. The measure, the value that you need to maintain, that is net performance. How is the net performance derived? Then we can say that this net performance, the limitation 500 feet, why do we need to fly at 500 feet first? Because it's safe. It is in a safety margin. Good. But is that the maximum safety margin? What will happen if you climb at 600 feet per minute or 400 feet per minute? It means if you go above the margin or below the margin. So 100 feet variation in 500 feet is like 20% variation. So instead of maintaining 500 feet, if you're maintaining 600 feet, so difference is 100. And 100 out of 500 is 20%, right? 120%, 240%, 360%, 480%, and 500 becomes 100%. So the variation in your required performance and your actual performance would be plus 20 or minus 20. That would be in percentage, or plus 100 feet, minus 100 feet. That would be in terms of feet. So your actual performance with respect to the performance level you have to keep is beyond 20% or with it up to 20%. So it's not safe. So is this the maximum? Is it not safe? No, this is not the maximum. This is the bare minimum. So what is the maximum? The maximum would be the second performance. What is that second performance? Gross performance, right? So then the actual safety bracket would be 400 to 600 feet. That would be gross performance. So that would be regulated and reduced by the regulatory authority based upon the measured performance. So they give us a buffer of 100 plus and minus in net performance. So if we are flying 500, even if we go at 600 or 400, plus minus 100, 20% variation also will give you a safety bracket. Otherwise, as a pilot, it would be difficult for you to continuously maintain 500 feet per minute. But now that you have a safety bracket, which you are not aware, you have to maintain 500, but you will be making errors in maintaining 500. Sometimes you'd go 550, sometimes you'd go 450. You'll be switching between 500 and 450, 550 sometimes. So that is the error in the piloting techniques or variations in the piloting techniques. So sometimes you're not able to maintain 500, maybe you're doing 400. So that is temporary bad piloting technique or temporary below average performance from the definition. Hardik, are you following what I'm trying to say? So gross performance is giving us a good bracket because we are following net performance, but gross performance is a little higher. But then that is not the only safety bracket. Measured performance would have given me a safe rate of climb would be with respect to the manufacturer and the test condition would be 300 to 700 feet, like that. So you are in a very safe bracket. Even if you make mistakes while maintaining 500, still you will be within the safe category with respect to the test conditions, that is the measured conditions. So it's like you get a lot of safety bracket, that is net performance. And the good thing about this performance is that pilots are able to meet this performance. What is the value? 99.9994% of the times pilots are able to achieve this. So this is good. If we give the pilot something extra, if we try to give the pilot the measured value of performance or the gross value of performance, then the pilots are unable to maintain that. But the pilots are able to maintain net performance because it gives you a lot of flexibility, and having that flexibility reduces stress, because even if you go a little over or below, you realize that the plane is still safe, so you build up confidence, and then you get a better better control on your control column, and then slight variations also you'll be able to make to maintain yourself at a steady rate of climb or a rate of descent. Are you understanding, students? Hardik, understood what is net performance, or you have something else related to net performance? This is net performance. Same thing. Okay. And talking about your next question. Difference between equivalent airspeed and indicated airspeed. Sure, we'll do that. But keep it in the parking lot. And difference between VFS and VFTO. Keep it in the parking lot. I'll discuss sometime during class. Not now. Okay, good. Thank you for highlighting. Next time when I request you to highlight, do highlight. All right. Same thing, because we are pushing to later. Jyotsna, buffet speed, VP, VMCG. We will discuss all speeds together. Thanks for highlighting it out. I'll explain all your doubtful speeds in one go, everyone. So good. We'll keep it in the parking lot and highlight it if I ask you to highlight it again if I don't solve it. Okay, Rishi has also shared it. Let me check. Yeah. Rishi is talking about continuous one engine in operative power rating. Fine. Actually, I had given a brief description about it, Rishi, in the last class, but I'll explain it again. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll do it. Make sure you keep highlighting it when I ask you until the time it's not cleared. And students, also keep a track if there are any other previous doubts that you have. Okay, good. So I am not getting any response from Anshul. I'll just make a call, otherwise we'll get started. Probably she's occupied. So Twarita, any questions that you have with respect to anything from past, present?
No, sir, I haven't started any self-study. When I'll do, then I'll have doubts. Now I'm just attending
Makes sense. Makes sense. I understand.
the
Makes
lecture.
sense. Good, good, good. Makes sense. 1 second, okay, students. Okay. So, Twarita, for you, I would want you to try and go through lecture 1 and lecture 2 of batch Foxtrot 22. Why? You already know those things, but those are those critical points. That is directions and velocity triangle. I want you to go through those 2 lectures and see if you have any doubts. So you study those lectures as if you're learning it for the first time. Make notes. Okay. So if you want, I'll help you get started and I'll send you the links after the session and you can get started. First, I'll give you the task. Via self-study, you could just study those 2 and report completion. After that, you'll have to solve certain sums, assignments. I'm sure you have done that in the past. It will be a good revision for you to do. What do you think about it? Are you up for it?
Okay, sir. The first lecture of Foxtrot 22 is solar system.
Negative. Negative. It is not solar system. It is velocity triangle, 1/60 rule. It's velocity triangle actually, CX3 based, not more 1/60. It's velocity triangle and then directions. I'll share it with you, okay? So
Okay,
remember
sir.
that I'll personally guide you so that parallelly you can prepare. You have your computer number. Why not just try to prepare you and be ready for the sooner attempts, you know? So that's my idea. But we will not go for exam unless we are sure that we are prepared well. So I'm going to make sure that I help you in a way that you don't have to study everything again. Neither do you have to study everything on your own. I'm going to help you, but I'm going to help you in a way that a mix of these live lectures and mix of certain offline lectures that I'll recommend. So you'll always have the freedom to attend or miss live lectures if you have something else to do. Still, I would appreciate if you continue attending a few live lectures till the time I can keep you on the auto mode. So let's see for a few days how it goes and if you're able to attend or not. So till Wednesday, we have a fixed schedule. Tomorrow is off. So make sure, try to attend as per the schedule. Okay. And
Okay, sir.
do the offline also side by side. Take time in the day and do that also and attend live also. Mixture of both. All right.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Very good. Rishi, Hardik, anything else that you need? Jyotsna, anything else that you need? We could offer, I could guide, I could help right now. Harsim, anything else, anything new, anything extra? Let me know. We have the time right now. And as you know how it's going from the morning, it's going to be a chill session. It's going to be a discussion. It's going to be a relaxed session. Weekend sessions are supposed to be like that. Okay. So do not rush. Let me know. I'm giving you the time. I hope you're flipping through your notes and discussing points with me. Make sure you do what I'm asking you to do along with what I'm doing. Only then the strategy is foolproof. Saksham, welcome to the class. Saksham, how do you read?
Read 5, sir.
Read U5. You will reply as read U5.
Read U5.
Very good. Okay, Saksham, I hope you're free. Okay, I thought you must be asleep or busy for your weekend. I didn't know.
Yeah, I got a sleep, sir.
No problem. No, you have not missed much. Anyway, we ended our RT session late, so we started navigation late. And we were just talking and taking updates and discussing doubts. So don't worry, you've not missed anything. We were just about to start today's topic. But Saksham, what's your update on the study notes? You had read it once already. I know that.
Yes.
Very good. Did you give it another read or are you just there where you were last time?
No, sir, I didn't give a read, sir. After that, I yesterday started doing my assignment. So I completed all my tables, only left one of them that I was not able to understand. Today, I'll just give clarity on that.
Good.
And one table and that assignment, the rest one, the summary one, today I'll give that to you.
Good. So keep discussing doubts and confusions like you're doing as and when you get them. One or the other way, I'll help you get the correct solution. Either I'll make you find it on your own or I'll simply give it to you, depending upon what topic it is. Sometimes I'll give you indirect solutions and try to see if you're able to find it on your own. That will help you in the long run. So don't think that is not giving direct answers, okay?
No, that's fine, sir. I just want to trick how to solve it.
Yeah, I know. Whenever you need direct answer, students, you can simply say, sir, please give me direct answer also. I'll say, okay, fine. If you need direct answer, I'll give you direct answer also. Or directly, I'll give you direct answer. You can always demand for that also, students. Okay, whatever works for you. Now you're at that point, and Saksham, you'll also reach that point after you attend a few more sessions offline, online. Like you have to manage both. Saksham, so what I'll do is probably, if you'll not be able to do online, offline both together, then probably I think you'll get time because there will be time when I'll not be having navigation lectures live. That's when you can do the offline. So I think let's stick with online as and when you can attend. It will really make you get prepared better and faster. So yeah, no problem, no problem. Good, good, good. All right. And what was pending? Okay, Twarita, right. Study notes. I'll just check. 1 second. Performance notes, study notes. Where is it? Aircraft performance notes. I should have sent it to you because I keep you in the emails, but you are right. It is not sent to you. I'll just send it to you. 1 second. So I think I missed sending it to you. Twarita, you have to just give it a read completely, understand and read and understand. That's it. You don't have to mug it up and you don't have to check whether you are able to recall it or not. Just read it. If you have understood it, great. Go ahead, read. But you do the reading assignment after going through lecture 1, because I've explained properly how to go about it in lecture 1 and a little bit in lecture 2. So I've sent it to you. You can check your email. You must have got it by now. If not,
Okay, sir.
check your spam. If not, check your spam. If not, let me know. I'll resend it. All right, class, let's get started. Like I said, it's a short topic, easy topic. We'll be using our CX3. We'll be using our scientific calces. If need be, we'll be doing numericals. Simple numericals, simple terms, which are not dedicated to any one chapter or topic, but which could be involved into anything. These are mere basics, what we call. What are these basics? And why is the topic called as measurement of elements? Because these are different elements that you can measure with certain separate formulas, certain separate understanding. But what happens if I directly give you the formula without showing you how the history of it works or the application of it works? Then you'll always be under a doubt. So your learning would be improper. So what we are going to do is we are going to address these elements as and when we are doing related topics. So like measurement of elements would include something to do with, let's say, airspeeds. So that we'll do when we are doing airspeed indicator. Then measurement of elements will have something to do with altitudes, pressure altitude, density altitude, indicated altitude. That we'll do when we do altimeter. Then measurement of elements will also have calculations of fuel consumption, conversion of fuel from volume to weight, and how much fuel can you carry on board, and so on. Those measurement of element related topic we'll do when we are doing weight and balance. So that's how the strategy would be, so that it will become nice. So I have written it as part 1 because we are only doing part 1 of measurement of elements, because measurement of elements have a lot of elements. Achal, how do you read? Achal, how do you read? Achal, are you there? How do you read, Achal? Okay, good. Very happy to see you live in class, Achal. We are just getting started with today's topic. Okay, we are doing doubt solving and discussion so far, so you have not missed anything. Don't worry about it. Just let me know, Achal, have you finished giving it a read completely, or a little bit more is pending? Is there any other update from the morning update? Almost complete. All right. Everyone else has completed it. Achal, you missed that update. You have to do it and update. Just read once. You don't have to focus if you are able to recall or not. You just have to read, and if you understand, move ahead. Simple. Good. So what are we doing today? As you can see in the link, the topic is called as measurement of elements. Now, these are small elements that are important. Okay. These elements are related to various segments of your navigation studies. So like I was saying, I'll just rephrase it for you, Achal. And students, you also focus so that you have good recall about these general topics. So there would be certain formulas that you can only use on paper, and those formulas are not there in CX3. Basically, CX3 is pre-filled with a lot of formulas. You just put in details and it calculates. That's what calculators do. They are filled with a lot of formulas. But there are certain formulas which you might not find in CX3. So measurement of elements as a topic comes into place where we learn about a few independent topics, and we see a certain related equations which can be solved with CX3, can be solved without CX3, some of which can be solved only on CX3, some of which can only be solved without CX3, like using a normal calculator and formulas. So there are three ways your measurement of elements will include three things, basically. Questions that you can solve on CX3 and formula both. Questions that can only be solved on formula because CX3 doesn't have that function. And then those questions which you can only do on CX3 for which you don't have any given formulas. All right. So that is what measurement of elements is all about. Why am I calling it measurement of elements part 1? Because there are various elements related to fuel consumption, how much fuel will you carry on board, endurance. All that measurement of elements will cover when we are doing weight and balance. Then there will be measurement of elements talking about density, altitude, indicated altitude, pressure, altitude. So those measurement of elements we'll do when we're doing altitude. So that will be a different part. And then like I said, there was one more, like what do we say? Difference in speeds, like calculate your equivalent airspeed or indicated airspeed or calibrated airspeed, whatever speeds, how to do that. That we'll do when we do airspeed indicator. So we'll strategically divide measurement of element topics into the topics related to them so that you are in sync. Today, we are going to cover one topic which is not related to any other topics, like not related to altitude or airspeed indicator or weight and balance. Basically, these are the three areas from where measurement of element related topics would come. Okay, so that's what we are doing today. It's going to be a short session, but very informative, and probably you'll get a couple of questions in the examination on these topics, or maybe a combined question would come, partially this and partially something else. So this, not thinking that it's only 1 or 2 mark, I can skip it. No, 1 or 2 mark, I can put it in my bag confidently, is why I'm giving you the description. Now, when I say 1 and 2, it's an average. Minimum 1 and 2 will always be there. Sometimes 4 to 5 questions can also be there directly based upon these questions. If that happens, you will get more marks because these are easy to solve questions. Some of them you can directly do on CX3. All right. So you might see a couple of parallel things compared to what I'm asking you to do from Keith Williams, what I've asked you to do in past. It's okay. Don't be surprised. Think that, okay, fine. What I'd already done is also one more topic covered. Like that should be your understanding. Otherwise, you would have already covered it, but when you will check your syllabus, you'll be thinking, oh, sir, I have not done this. So that's why I'm doing it separately. So if you see something is overlapping, you realize that, okay, you're covering 2 topics, or maybe I taught you something extra while doing something related to that topic before, like that. All right. So expectations are clear. It's not going to be like, okay, we are going to, do a very traditional class. I'm just going to give you a question. First, I'm going to ask you all answers, see if you can do it through CX3. If not, then I'm going to show you. If there's anything extra to be shown, then definitely I'll show it to you. Then we'll move on to the next equation or next question. So what is it about? What is this measurement of elements? So this is actually the topic, measurement of elements. We're saying part 1 because we are only doing a small part of it. Measurement of elements, part 1. See, benefit of video on for me is that I was just thinking Saksham has just woken up and Saksham should be getting a cup of tea or coffee or something, because he's just woken up, washed his face, maybe put on some nice clothes, non-sleeping clothes, and just come to class. Anshul, I'm thinking probably you also fell asleep or something. That's why you're late. Let me know, Anshul, what happened. Is everything okay? Just drop me a message. But now I can see somebody offering cup to Saksham, so I feel nice. I'm like, wow, this is what I wanted, So it's okay if my students are sleepy, tired. I want to help them get into the zone. So whatever it needs, we offer it to the students. So if you would have been in a class, we would have arranged a cup of coffee for you if you would be sleeping. If you would have needed some snacks to go along with your weekend session, we would have arranged for that also. So it's all good. It's all flexible. Okay. It's okay if you're late and all. Don't feel guilty about it. But make sure that you're making the most of what I'm teaching right now. Rishi is liking the idea of snacking and learning. Rishi, you can always grab a pack of chips and study and eat. Nobody's going to stop you from doing that. As long as you don't get distracted. Achal, care to share? What's happening? All good? And somewhere when I gave you all the break at break for half an hour, I was thinking that I should give you a break till 3 o'clock. And Achal, why? Because I thought you need a break till 3 o'clock. So I thought if Achal needs it, every student could use a break till 3 o'clock, and we would still have a good session 3 to 5. That's what I was thinking. And when you were not joining, I thought maybe I was right. And when you joined exactly at 3, I was like, wow, I felt the same thing. What is actually happening? So yeah, that's why I'm asking, Good. So what are we going to do today? I'm going to give you an equation. It is a part of general navigation, measurement of elements. Everything that we do will be a part of general navigation, including those topics which we are covering for instruments also. So measure of elements as considered in general navigation plus in instruments. So you understand you will get more marks on these topics because the questions would come here also, there also, or at least one of the two will come in the paper. Depends upon the moderator of your question paper. So part 1, what are we doing? I'm going to give you one question. Very simple. I'll give you a couple of minutes to try and come up with the answer. Play with it. Use your CX3 first. If not, try to do something or the other. But try to just play with it, CX3. If not CX3, just let me know, sir, unable to do it on CX3. Simple. Question number 1. In 30 minutes, you cover 900 nautical miles over ground. What is your ground speed? Options are right in front of the question. And try to find it out. Play with CX3. I've already taught it in CX3. I want to see if you can find it out. If not, then I'll show you how to do it. Answers in the chat box, okay? Write question number 1 and then write the answer. You can write either the option number or you can write the numerical value, 140, 150, 160. It's fine. But use the units in your answers. Jyotsna, Rishi, Achal, good. Very good. Saksham, Twarita, Hardik. Harsim, you drop me on WhatsApp your answers. Not on YouTube chat, WhatsApp. Okay, I'm waiting for other three answers. Come on, Hardik, Saksham, Twarita. What's happening? Hardik, what's your answer? Did you get it? Hardik, I'm talking to you. No. Why not? Don't know how to solve it? Is that the reason?
Sir, I was just using CX3,
Mm-hmm.
but I was getting 180 knots as the answer.
Yes.
sir,
So
same.
whatever. Yes. Yes. Good. If you're getting that, communicate. Very good. Very good. You're getting that, right? I want to see. So tell me what is the answer that you are getting in the chat box. You can let me know. I said this is the answer that I'm getting. Simple. Verbally also you can talk to me about it. It's okay. Not a compulsion and only chat box. Okay, students. Yes, 180 knots. Correct. 180 knots. Obviously, how you go to ground speed, distance, you simply put 90, whatever is there. Check the unit always. Nautical miles. You press enter the center orange button and you get equal to sign over or tick mark sign. Duration is in hour. Press unit converter and make it into minutes and then add 30 minutes and enter. You get your ground speed as 180 knots. Your answer is correct, 180 knots. Okay. Now, in the examination, what if your correct answer is not mentioned? What do you do? In case your correct answer is not mentioned in the exam, it could be a printing error. Or sometimes the difference would be that the answer that the moderator has got is from a CRP 5 or the analog navigation computer, and the answers you are getting is through CX3. In certain equations, there is a difference, substantial difference between the two calculations. Then there are certain answers where the difference between the CX3 calculation and the formula calculation varies little bit. That can also happen. Okay. In those situations, chances are that what you are getting and what is in the question is incorrect, but close. If the value is incorrect but close to your answer, then mark the closest value in those situations in your examinations. So in this case, if you have to choose between the three, in this case, if you have to choose between the three, A, B, and C, which is the closest to 180, the answer that you are getting, 160 knots. Are you there, students? Saksham is following. Hardik, Jyotsna, Twarita, Rishi, are you following? In this respect, so you have to understand and assume if this happens, then you will go with the closest answer. Play safe. Or else you'll be stuck. Don't leave answers. Don't leave blank. Okay, make sure you mark all the answers. So, with respect to that, it would be 160 knots here. Okay, but I'm changing the options. I'm changing the options. And second option, I am changing to 180 knots only. I just wanted to show that experience to you that if that is happening, trust your answer. So, Hardik, Twarita, Saksham, you need to understand whatever answer you get, you know it is the correct formula that you have used, you know it's the correct procedure that you have used. Stand by your answer. Simple. If it not doesn't match, then go to the closest answer. If there is no closest answer, then you know that, okay, you must have done something incorrectly. Then you figure that out. Okay, read the question again, try to do it with a different method. Then probably you'll get an answer. Following everyone, these are gold pearls. We call these pearls. These things will really help you get extra 5 to 10 marks, or really help you from losing 5 to 10 marks due to silly mistakes. Anyway, you'll be benefited by 5 to 10 marks using this strategy. So from next time onwards, whether your options match or not, if you get an answer, reply. If you don't get an answer, reply. But the reply should come quickly. So you should not invest extra time more than the time I'm giving you on these topics. So you should be ready to make quick decisions with your answers. Okay. If you're able to do that in your navigation, then you'll be really in the front of everyone else. Achal, you missed a couple of things. All I was saying was, in case your options don't match and your answer is close to any of one of the options, then the closest option will be the correct option. Okay. If the answer that you get doesn't match with the options and it's not even close to any of the options, then probably you have done something incorrectly. But until then, if your answer doesn't match, but if it's close, then I want you to stand by your answer, because there would be variation in the ways the answers are solved. Some people doing it via formula, some people doing it via CX3, some people doing it via analog navigation computer. The answers would vary for certain equations, not all equations. So your options might not match. That's why you'll see in navigation, most of the options will never match, but it will be close to your correct answers. It is okay. If you get an answer as 700 for something, and if the exam it is 670 closest, then the 670 is the correct answer. Okay. And that's what I was saying. So, but now I have corrected the option 2 and changed 150 to 180. Accordingly, what will be your answer? Answer B, that is correct. So the reason I did it was to show you this experience, just in case your answers don't exactly match, there will be an opportunity. 160 knots would have been the correct answer if 150 was not changed to 180. So 160, why? Because it is closest to 180. Then you can understand the 20-degree difference would be because of a headwind or a tailwind. That is not there in the question. Something like that. I'll teach you more and more when we do more sums, like how you can do reverse calculation if you don't know anything in a question. Still, you can try to do reverse and find out the correct answer. So there are strategies for such questions also. Make sure you follow them. All good, everyone? Next question. Ground speed is 22 knots, 220 knots. You have 57 nautical miles to go. How long will it take you? Hardik, number 1 to give me your answer. Very good, very fast. Always cross-check your answers, students, before submitting. I say this to every student who is very fast in submitting, okay? Very good, Hardik. Answer is correct. Excellent. Rishi, answer is correct, but not accurate. Saksham, answer is correct and accurate. I like this. Before options only, you have given me the correct answer. I like that. Jyotsna, correct and accurate, both. Rishi, I'm saying non-accurate because the value you have given is correct, just that there is some decimal value which you have not mentioned. So I'm saying it's not accurate. It's fine. Correct and inaccurate. It's okay. So Rishi, 15 minutes, 32 seconds in minutes would be how much? 15 minutes, 32 seconds. In minutes will be how much? Achal, what's the answer to this question? See, students, I'll teach you one thing again, something that we'll be doing in time. 15 minutes and 32 seconds. If you have to manually convert it into minutes only, so you have to convert the value of 32 seconds in minutes. If you go to see, 30 seconds is 0.5 minute because it's half minute. So that can directly give you an idea that 32 seconds is close to 0.5 minutes. But there is another way to do it. Whatever value you get in seconds, 32 into 0.60. If you do, you will get the value. Try to do it, students. Always make sure this basic calculation you'll do on your scientific calc. Yeah, you don't multiply, you divide by 60, okay? Sorry, disregard. Seconds, you will divide by 60. Whatever is in decimal is you multiply by 60. So if you want to convert it directly, you divide by 60. So 32 divided by 60, you get 0.533. So 32 seconds is 0.533 minutes. Now all you have to do is 15 minutes plus 0.53 minutes. So what do you get? 15.053 minutes in minutes. So the unit really holds a lot of importance. Okay. But in your scientific correction, in your navigation computer, it's much more easier to find. I'll show you how. You'll get an accurate answer. Anshul, are you there? Anshul, can you hear me? I'm waiting for your answer to this question. Question number 2. Ground speed is 220 knots. You have 57 nautical miles to go. How long will it take you? So, simple. Ground speed is given to me 220 knots. Duration I need to find. Options are not given to me, but as per the option only, you can determine your unit also. Here, before I could give options, you give me correct answer. So I like that. Very nice. So, duration we need to find, distance to go. We have to just check distance to go, 57 nautical miles. So I'm directly getting my answer in 15.55 minutes. So 15 minutes, 15.5, 16 minutes, all are correct answers. If one of them is there in the option. If all the three are there in the option, then you go with the most accurate answer. Simple. Achal, are you there? What's your answer? And Harsim, please message me your answers on WhatsApp if you're learning on YouTube. The same if you want to convert. Now, if you want to convert same, now this is another way to learn these elements. The same if you want to convert. Let's say somebody tells you something in minutes and asks you to convert it into different units. Here also you could do it. Just click on the same value, keep it selected and just keep pressing unit converter. See, if I press unit converter, I get the answer as 0.26 hours. So maybe your options will have answer in hours, not in minutes, but your calci would give you in minutes. So make sure you're able to change the unit and then get the correct answer. Getting it, students? Now, again, if I don't need hour as a unit, something else, just press the unit converter, hours, minutes, seconds, properly, as per the CX3. 15 minutes, 32 seconds. Is there anything else? Of course, you can also measure it in seconds. Unit converter in seconds, 932.73 seconds. So make sure you're aware of this because in the exams, you could get any sort of question, any sort of options for those questions. And then it comes back to minute. So similarly, you can change and you can check each value in each parameter, in each formula, in each equation, in each function. You can check how many units are available for every value. And make sure when you're answering, your answers are correct. Sometimes some moderators, what do they do when they are setting a question paper for you? What do? They will give you the same answer in the value, like they will give you the option A 15.55, option B 15.55, option C 15.55. Same number, but then units will be different. Or what they will do, they'll give you 15.55 hours. Then they will give you 0.26 minutes, and then they will give you 0.26 hour. If you are doing in a rush and if you're not checking, then the first thing that your your navigation computer would be set to will be the reading you will see. So if you see in minutes, you might match it quickly with your option matching with 15.5 and you'll mark that as the correct answer, but it would be wrong. So be very careful in making such mistakes and not so that you don't make such mistakes. Hardik, Rishi, Twarita, Saksham, Jyotsna, are we following? Good. Harsim, Achal, are we following? I'm not sure. Good. Third question. Convert 142.6 minutes into hours, minutes, seconds. Give me your answers. No options. Jyotsna, it will be 15.53 minutes, not 053. Because when you divide 32 by 60, you get 0.53, not 0.053. Got it, Jyotsna? So the correct answer to this question is, has everyone given it to me? Saksham? Your answer in the chat box. Jyotsna, Hardik, Rishi. Twarita, okay, Jyotsna, Hardik, Rishi. Only 3. So where is Twarita and where is Saksham? Where are your answers? Achal, are you able to hear me?
Oh, yes, sir, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Achal, second question, please solve. And give me your answer in the chat box. Sardip, welcome to the class. How are you?
I'm keeping fine, sir. I just came back from the physio and hospital.
I understand. See, Sardip, let me give you first. So sorry to cut you. Let me tell you. Firstly, we started the session late today, 2:30. So you have not missed much. 2:30 to 3, I was just taking a follow-up with students with respect to the study reading task I had given yesterday and all. So you quickly give me an update. Have you finished reading it once? Or it's still left?
Yes, sir. I have finished reading it once. I have jotted down a few notes that were missing, like that we hadn't discussed in the class that we thought of. And yes, sir, I'm good. I have even
So the
done
task
it.
is done, I think.
Yeah, it's done, sir. Yes.
Good.
I've-
Very good. So whatever doubts you have, just share it across so that I can discuss it at length with when I'm discussing doubts for other students related to that topic.
Sure.
Okay. And I'll just brief you what we are doing today. But today's session is very short, actually, Sardip. So if you want, you can continue right away, or else you can just watch it fresh after some time, the recording. Up to you. Because we have just started talking about what are measurement of elements, how we are going to do it. It's irrelevant. I mean, of course, you will watch the lecture even if you study now. You'll just have to watch what you have missed at a fast pace also. But see, what we are doing right now is looking at questions and trying to solve them using CX3. Measurement of elements is a topic where you find out values of different elements that are independent as well as they're associated with certain uh, segments or certain parts of navigation, like weight and balance, like altitude, altimeter, and air speeds, and of course temperatures also, and of course distance, speed, and time also. So today we are doing part 1, only a part of it. So the first question, quickly look at it and let me know, what do you think? Do you want to continue now? Because I think we're only doing it for half an hour, 1 hour max, and everyone will be then going. You want to resume now, or do you want to start the offline part? Like, what do you want to do? Quickly tell me.
No, sir. I'll just attend the lecture, and anyways, I'll just watch the
The
lecture. once.
missed part, right? So
Yeah.
quickly try to solve this first question using CX3.
Right.
Solve the second question. Drop me your answers in the chat box. Okay,
Okay.
take a picture of these two questions first. And if you're not getting the correct answer, I'll show you once again how to do it. And
Right.
then number 3 also.
Right.
Okay. Just try to see, and number wise, just give me your answers in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay. Anchal, any doubts? Question number 3. Check question number 3, Anchal. Question number 2 is correct. Very nice. Hours, minute, second, you have converted. Hours, minute, second conversion that you have done, I want it for this. Hours, minutes conversion. Students. And Achal, mention question number also, because I'm unable to know which question answer you are giving me. Answer looks correct for this one. Question number 2. So I'll mark that. Yeah, the question number 2 is correct. This is the answer for question number 2. The same could be given to you in different units is what we were talking about. So always cross-check the units, students. Anshul and Saurdeep, this is also one thing that you have missed. Make sure whenever you're finding answers, the numbers can match with the options, but the unit should also match with the options. So if the number is matching, unit is not matching, just change the unit and see if the other options will match with your answer. Okay. Question number 3, hours, minutes, second. Everyone has given me your answers. Question number 3 is Saksham. I don't think you're getting the right answer. Rishi, I think you are getting the right answer. Hardik, you're getting the right answer. Josna, you are getting the right answer for question number 3. Twarita, where are you? Where are your answers? Don't you have CX3, Twarita? Achal, your question number 3 is right. So I think Jyotsna, you have given right question number 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yes. So 4 are done, 2 are 3 are pending. So Saksham, incorrect. Twarita waiting for your answers, or Saurdeep waiting for your answers. Saurdeep, take your time to solve all 3. No problem. You can solve any time. Twarita, negative. Twarita, no. You and Saksham are getting the same answer, but it's incorrect.
So I have got the answer for the second one because that's the question I could see. I'll just go back to the screenshot now.
Yeah. It's also on the screen. Just drop me the answer for question number 2.
Yep.
Twarita and Saksham, what's happening? Incorrect answer. Please correct your answers. It's simple. See, first thing that we'll try to do, we'll go to duration simply, and we'll change the feed in the value of duration as 142.6 and change the unit to minutes. Now I'm changing the unit, the value is changing. So I made sure I press C, make everything to 0. So you make everything to 0 by pressing on C, the C button, which is the 4th button in the first row. Okay. And then you put 142.6. Decimal is the last button in the second row. So there are 5 rows of buttons. First row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. And there are number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Only 7 buttons in each row. So 7 5s are 35, only 35 keys. Okay. 7, yeah, 35. So Saksham, again, you are getting an incorrect answer. Saurdeep, your answer for question number 2 is correct. So why are you not getting the correct answer? Let me check. I have put in the question. Now I just have to get the correct answer. So I'm just going to press the unit converter and get the answer into HMS. Unit converter, I get it into hour. So 2 hours, 38 minutes is not the correct answer because it's only in hours. It's not in hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, remember that. Again, press hours, minutes, seconds, 2 hours, 22 minutes, 36 seconds. So it's there right in front of me. Why are you not getting it? Saksham, Twarita, why?
I divided that by 60. So
I'll show you. If you're dividing by 60, what did you divide by 60? Okay. So see, no, wait. 0.6 divided by 60, is it? Is this what you had done? Okay. And why did we do that? Because 1 minute is 60 seconds and 1 hour is 60 minutes. This will only be true if you want to get our answer in hours. If you want to get our answer in hours, minutes, and seconds, then this formula will not give you accurate answer. Okay? Because hours, minutes, and seconds, there are 3 functions. It's not only hours. Dividing by 60 is converting minutes into hours only. Okay, so you'll only get answer into hours. You'll not get the answer into minutes and seconds. It will not be accurate, simply speaking. So this division, this logical reasoning is good. Only minute to hour conversion, the dividing minutes by hour or 60 minutes, only then. Not in HMS, simple. For HMS, its only way to do is CX3, direct way. From minutes to HMS, only CX3. There are certain ways when you will do time, you will learn that certain calculations you can do numerically also. But this cannot be done numerically. Not unless I teach you 3 to 4 steps to solve this, which is unnecessary. We have CX3, we have to use CX3. And you divide by 60 or multiply by 60? Hardik is saying multiply by 60.
Divide.
So 142 minutes, so 60 minutes is 1 hour. So you divide by 1 hour, that is 60 minutes. Good. So what do you get? See, I'll show you. If you do this, students, see how to convert a simple element also into the further units. All right. So 142.6 divided by 60 gives you 2.376. At least take up to 2 or 3 digits in your normal calculations. So now, okay, please focus, okay, students. All these are little bits and pieces. Measurement of elements is all about these little things that will help you get 10 to 15 marks in total. You know, that is a very big amount of marks. So now what do? You get answer as 2.376. You have converted minutes into hours, basically. So what do you get? You get this as an answer, which is not accurate. So you get 2 hours. And then whatever you get is in minutes and seconds, like this. So what is accurate is 2 hours only right now. Then how do you convert the 0.37 into minutes and then the further into seconds?
By 60.
Multiply by 60.
Whatever value you get in decimals. So this is the reverse calculation of what we were doing earlier. First, you got it into hours. Now, our decimal value, if you want to convert into minutes and seconds, then you have to multiply by 60. So what will you multiply by 60? The whole point value. 2 hours, 0.376 into 60 minutes. This is how you are going to get the answer. So when you do 0.376 into 60, try to use the scientific calci, students. Anyone having any problem solving calcis, you let me know. I'll walk you through. Okay, I'll arrange a couple of more cameras and I'll show you which buttons I'm pressing when, how, and everything. If you need, you let me know. I'll teach you everything that you need. So here, what do you get? 2 hours as it is, plus 0.376 into 60. What am I getting? 22.56. Now, what is this 22.56? So this is where Saksham and Twarita, you should have continued solving, which you didn't know, but now you know. This is the learning that you will get. Twarita, I think you remember from what you had done in the past. Very nice. Yes, very nice, very nice. So that's what I'm trying to say, students. You need to know these things also. Sometimes the questions would be such that sometimes you might not get it here and there, and the only way would be to do the way that this is the way. So now what is this value? This value becomes 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 0.56 into 60 seconds. Got it? So again, whatever the point value I'll have, I'll multiply that again by 60 to get the lower unit. Simple. You keep doing it, and you'll keep getting microsecond, nanosecond also, if you want, provided they all have the base of 60. Of course, they all will have a base of 60, I hope. I've never got into the description on nanoseconds, actually. Sardip, question number 1 is correct. 180 knots. Well done. Very good. Just solve question number 3. Easily, just convert. I'm showing it live. I think you have picked it up. So now our final answer is 2 hours, 22 minutes and remaining seconds. So I'll just do 0.56 into 60. What do I get?
33.6.
33.6. 33.6 can be rounded off to 34. Yes. So 33.6 seconds, or you can convert that 0.6 to also microseconds, but we don't need that. You can simply round it off. So you'll get 2 hours, 22 minutes and 34 seconds. See the difference between your answer and CX3 answer? I told you there will be differences. Such differences will be there every now and then. Getting it, students? Yes, no, maybe, yes, everyone? Good job, Sardip. Very nice. Good. Okay. You'll be surprised when I say this, but this is what I'm going to teach you ahead is the last topic for today, for this session. Okay. Now, what is this topic? This is a fresh topic. What is this topic? It's a fresh concept. What is this concept? It's a fresh concept. So you need to know a couple of things before you understand this concept. Now, I'm going to introduce a couple of things which you might have never heard before, or maybe you would have heard before. Ram rice. Anyone who knows about it, raise your hand. Anything that you think it could be, I want to know. Anybody knows what is RAM? RAM rice? Maybe RAM air? Fine. Okay, what I'm trying to sketch, why am I making a small sketch? Okay, what I'm going to sketch is a Pitot tube. Okay, a Pitot tube is a pressure sensing source like this. Okay. You learn a lot about Pitot tube when we do instruments. This is just an introduction. This Pitot tube is small, okay? And this Pitot tube is attached to the airframe, okay? Of course, I cannot make a big airframe, so I'll make a small airframe and show you. If this is the airframe, top view, okay? Then your Pitot tube would be like this, small Pitot tube, like this. All right. This is called Pitot tube. It's a tube. Okay. So it is parallel to the longitudinal axis of the aircraft. Parallel to the longitudinal axis of the aircraft. And the inlet of the Pitot tube is facing or opening in the free flowing air. Okay. Now this free flowing air is actually called as this air. Okay. So all the pressure that you are sensing comes from the air only. So this air is actually known as relative airflow. Okay. So this is the relative airflow. Okay. We call it relative airflow because we feel the wind is hitting the aircraft, but actually the aircraft is moving through the wind. But the feels like whenever you're driving or riding a bike or you just, not out of a moving vehicle, you feel the pressure of wind on your face. It's not the wind, it's your relative motion with the wind that's making you feel the pressure on your face or on your hands. Okay. Sometimes when you're just standing, you can feel a breeze on your face or on your body or your hands. That is the real effect of wind. You can say that is wind or airflow. But when there is no wind, but only the essence of wind is coming when you are moving, then that is relative airflow that you are experiencing. This relative airflow is important to understand overall, general knowledge, technical, and everything. So not much of it is introduced in navigation, but couple of references you'll find here and there in meteorology, also navigation also. All right. So this relative airflow is directly coming in a direction opposite to the aircraft nose and in a direction directly opposite to the opening of the pitot tube also. Okay. Now, anytime when this free air is entering any opening, or anytime when we are using this free air directly the way it is, then this free air, this relative airflow, okay, this is free air. Free air will mean air as it is. Now, why am I calling it air as it is? Because your jet engines compress the air. Okay. But this air is non-compressed as it is. So that is the difference. Free air as it is, when you're using this free air for any purpose, that air, whether even if you're not using that air, still if you are talking about the effect of that air, then that air is called as ram air. Okay. It's the same air, which is the relative airflow. But when we are using its application, or when we are using certain concepts to explain, then we use the term ram air. What is this ram air? Ram air is the actual air that is coming directly wherever you need it to come, wherever you need to study it. Right now, I'm looking at it with the perspective of pitot tube opening. So the ram air can be felt at the pitot tube opening. So this ram air will have certain pressure on the pitot tube opening. That becomes your pitot pressure. Pitot spelling is P-O-T-O-T. The last T is silent. It's okay if you call it pitot also. We grew up calling it pitot before somebody told us it's pitot. It's okay. Okay. Indians still speak better English than many other countries. So yeah. Anyway, coming to the point, pitot, it's one and the same thing. Last T is actually silent. So the ram air goes into this tube also. Look at the screen, everyone. So this is the ram air. Okay. Now, every instrument that is there outside on the aircraft, there is one more instrument that will be TAT. What is TAT? Total air temperature. There will be a small sensor somewhere, like a small thermometer tube. Not exactly the thermometers that you know, but somewhere the meaning would be the same. So the ram air would be hitting the temperature gauge also equally. Okay, so the ram air will go into the pitot tube also. The ram air will also impact your total air temperature sensor. Now, what is this total air temperature? Okay, first, in order to understand total air temperature, we need to understand something else. SAT. Now, all of a sudden, you'll be thinking, sir, why are we talking about temperature? Students, reading the temperature outside the aircraft is very important for the pilot to make certain calculations. Okay. Right now, you're not dealing with those calculations. But there might be certain occasions where you might need to do that. So where do you get this temperature reading from? You get it from the total air temperature sensor. That is the only sensor that will sense temperature and give you the reading inside the cockpit. What is this temperature? This is the outside air temperature. So in certain places, total air temperature is also referred to as outside air temperature. Note it, OAT, outside air temperature. Okay, so I have TAT, total air temperature, which is equal to outside air temperature. Same, they both mean the same thing. So in your CX3, when you will go into that function related to this, instead of TAT, you will find OAT, but the meaning is same. Outside air temperature, the air outside the aircraft. What is the temperature? How much is the temperature? The problem is the reading that you get. Students, listen to this carefully, okay? Because this concept is there in at least 5 different applications. Okay, what I'm trying to show you right now. The temperature that you are getting right now is not the actual value of the actual outside air temperature. Why? Because of the effect of the ram air putting some extra force on the sensor because of the relative motion of the air. Because of the ram air putting some extra energy, extra force on that particular sensor, on the particular opening. Opening related to Pitot, but we'll discuss that later when we do Pitot now. Now come to the temperature sensor. The logic is going to be the same, but you need to understand the concept. It has multifold applications. So how do I make sure that I get the actual temperature as it is outside without the added heat or added energy or added force because of the relative airflow, because of the ram air? I need to come up with certain calculations. So first, in order to understand that, we need to understand what actual temperature do we need for calculations. We need static air temperature. SAT stands for static air temperature. Now, what is static air temperature, students? Static pressure and dynamic pressure are two types of pressures. Static pressure is the pressure that you and me and every one of us is feeling around us without any relative motion whatsoever. So when the aircraft is on ground, all the air around the aircraft is exerting a pressure on the aircraft, which is known as static pressure. When the temperature indicator of such an aircraft on ground, which is at a standing position, if the temperature indicator senses the temperature, then that temperature is the actual outside air temperature, or the static air temperature. It's one and the same. Why? Because there is no relative motion. There is no ram air. The moment the aircraft starts moving, ram air is adding to the reading of the static air temperature. Are you following, students? Saksham, are you able to follow? Okay, I cannot make that from your expressions. So far, is everyone following? Understand the concept. That is of prime importance today. Jyotsna, Achal, are you following? No? Please discuss, ask. We are not in a rush. Okay. So you need static air temperature to calculate things. Things like what should be your actual altitude compared to pressure altitude, or what should be your TAS compared to ISA. There are many things that you could need that you will understand when I give you a couple of questions. Okay. So simply, how do you determine what is the static air temperature? You will be given total air temperature or outside air temperature. If you have a formula, good. If you have it in CX3, good. Something or the other should help you. Now, what is going to impact the ram air? The relative airflow. And what is going to increase the relative airflow? Aircraft airspeed. So true airspeed will be related in measuring the total air temperature and the static air temperature. So the actual temperature and the total temperature, the difference between the two, I can say, is the effect of the ram air. The more I increase my airspeed, the more will be the difference, because the ram air and the relative airflow will be higher. Are you following, students? Understanding? Achal, how about you?
So can you repeat?
So the difference between the actual, that is the static air temperature, you need the static air temperature, you need the temperature of the atmosphere when it is static. It means when it is the way it is. Aircraft moving through the atmosphere increases these readings. These are not the accurate atmospheric readings. They are a little extra. Why? Because of the flow of the relative airflow. Because of the ram air. Because ram air is adding extra force, extra energy, which is also being recorded by the temperature sensor. So your total air temperature is always a little higher than the static air temperature. Are you understanding this point, Achal, and everyone else? So the difference between the two, the difference between when the aircraft temperature sensor is sensing total air temperature, okay, and the difference between what is sensed and what is actual. What is the actual temperature? Static air temperature. The difference between the two is actually the effect of the ram air. The difference between the two is the effect of the ram air. If we could minus the effect of the ram air from the total air temperature, then what you will be left with will be your static air temperature. So if you could measure the difference in temperature because of the ram air at a particular airspeed, then you can determine the static air temperature also. So here when I said I'm going to show you something new, which is called ram rise, do not be worried if you don't get it in the first go or second go also, because this is something that can take some more time for some of you all to understand, because you have not yet been in air. So you need some time to first, get used to the words and topic and then understand. If that is the case, let me know. Be patient with yourself, but try to understand what I'm saying. So TAT minus SAT gives me what is known as ram rise. So what is ram rise? Ram rise is the increase in the temperature recording that we get from the temperature indicator, which is the total air temperature. It is the increase in the reading compared to the static air temperature reading. We need static air temperature for our calculation. But you might be thinking, sir, what calculations? I first need to know what is the practical application of it. Only then I'll make more sense. I understand where you're coming from. But right now, I want you to understand the concept that total air temperature and static air temperature, the difference between the two is the effect of the ram air. So if somebody tells you how much is the value of ram rise, then you can say, okay, give me my TAT, give me the SAT. If you can give me the TAT and SAT, I'll give you the ram rise, because now you know the formula. This is how you have to answer. This is what I'm trying to show you right now. Are we following? Achal, are we following? Jyotsna, Hardik, Swardeep, Twaita, Rishi, Saksham. Write down the definitions. It will increase your understanding. Focus on the definitions and try to read it and understand it while I'm giving it to you. Stat is, so write down, static air temperature is the temperature of the ambient atmosphere surrounding the aircraft with no inaccuracies caused by the measurement process. Read it again, students. Static air temperature is the temperature of the ambient atmosphere surrounding the aircraft. Ambient means atmosphere at its normal state. Static air temperature is the temperature of the ambient atmosphere surrounding the aircraft with no inaccuracies caused by the measurement process. It means the measurement process is foolproof. So static air temperature is the actual temperature measured of the atmosphere around the aircraft. Ambient atmosphere will mean the atmosphere at its natural state. Any doubts in understanding what is static air temperature? Anyone? Any doubts? If you have a doubt, raise a hand. You don't have to say no. It's okay. No doubts? Sure. You understood what is static air temperature? Achal, have you understood what is static air temperature? Sardeep?
Affirm, sir. Understood.
Good.
No problem.
Write down TAT. Total air temperature also called as OAT, that is outside air temperature So actually, students, if you check, then just make this change right now only. Outside air temperature, okay, I'll just rephrase it. If you check the diagram, then total air temperature and outside air temperature are different. So outside air temperature is not total air temperature. Outside air temperature is equal to static air temperature. Remember this, okay? I said it wrongly earlier. Good that I checked it right now only, or else I would have had to make you the had to make you make the corrections later. So I'll just refresh it once again. 1 second, okay? I'll make the necessary corrections. Cancel this point, erase this point. TAT is not OAT. Actually, SAT is equivalent to OAT, outside air temperature. Both have the same meaning is what I'm trying to say. Cut this point here. It is not outside air temperature is not what is STAT. It is static air temperature, that is outside air temperature. Make sure you make these corrections, okay? Erase it. Cut it and make the necessary correction. Has everybody done it? OAT and SAT are one and the same thing. Not OAT and TAT, okay? My mistake, but we have corrected it. It's okay, it happens. Sometimes it happens a lot, sometimes. Achal, did you make the correction everywhere? Check your entire notes. Make sure it's corrected everywhere. Harsim, Nimisha, and then I think Lakshya, and then Nukul. So many people watching offline, make sure you do the correction. Okay, Twarita made the correction, right? So outside air temperature is the static air temperature. Okay, so you write down also known as OAT, that is outside air temperature. All right. Here in this statement, we'll write total air temperature is the temperature measured by the aircraft temperature probe. A probe is anything that is going to take certain readings. A probe generally looks like a stick. Okay. So aircraft temperature probe, it's like a small stick on the outside of the aircraft, like the diagram that I have made. Here, the small probe. This is the small probe. It's not this small related to the Pitot tube. Both are similar in size, Pitot tube and temperature sensor, but I'll show you pictures in the next class, okay? So total air temperature, write down the definition, is the temperature measured by the aircraft temperature probe. All right. The total air temperature reading is not a correct reading of SAT when the aircraft is in motion. Third point, this is because the reading is affected by number one, compressibility, and number 2, kinetic and adiabatic heating. Now, students, compressibility and kinetic and adiabatic heating, these two are the actual phenomena happening because of the added force of the ram air. So, when we do altimeter and airspeed indicator, we will be doing this compressibility error in detail. We'll be talking about the same thing. So, whenever you are taking reading of ram air, you'll always have these two errors, be it in a temperature sensing probe or be it in a pressure sensing probe, that is a Pitot tube. Okay, the compressibility will always be there. It means the air will be compressed because of the added force, but we don't need the compressed air. We need the air at its normal rate. So that compression will somewhere increase, spike in the temperature. If not, some of the other effect will be there, but then heating is also happening, kinetic and adiabatic heating. Adiabatic heating is basically, you can say that uh, you heat without, you know, without a very prominent difference in temperature. I'll just give you the reference. Adiabatic heating, 1 second. Write it down so that you understand these terms, because a couple of these terms are going to be repeated again and again. 1 second. Mm. 1 second. One second, okay? Keep reading. So far, we are almost done. We're almost coming to the conclusion. 1 second. Adiabatic. 1 second, okay? Yeah, got it. Adiabatic heating means without the loss or gain of heat. Write this down, okay? Otherwise, you might not remember or you might not understand the whole concept. Again, this is just like basics also, but these topics are also individual on their own. So that's why I say that measurement of elements, we are going to strategically divide with respect to the relevant topics. With the adiabatic heating would mean without the loss or gain of heat. So that is a different type of heating. So there's a lot that you can actually learn, but all in good time. Compressibility, like I said, because of the added force, the air at the nose, at the tip of the sensor will be compressed. Actually, the compressibility happens at the tip first. Kinetic energy, potential energy, basically kinetic energy is energy of a particle in motion. So the ram air is in motion. So we get that kinetic heating because of that. So kinetic and adiabatic heating and compressibility, these are key terms. I'm giving you for a reason because they can come in the MCQs. Okay. It's not like they're not important. All right. So the total air temperature reading is affected by these two reasons. Okay. Continue writing about total air temperature. So we have done 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 3 points. 4th point. That is always higher than SAT. This is a good rule of thumb to remember. Okay, it could be a trick question hidden anywhere, in theory also. So TAT is always higher than SAT. Why? Because of RAM rise. Got it, students? Actually, you understand clearly what is RAM rise now? Achal? And why is the RAM rise a term given? Because of the effects of the compressibility and kinetic and adiabatic heating. So that is the process actually which is giving us a rise in the reading known as RAM rise. Simple. So what is this added value? It's just a temperature increase. So the RAM rise value is actually in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit, whatever unit you are using. Actually, I'm not getting a response. Everyone else, are you following? Twarita, Jyotsna, Saurdev, Hardik, Rishi, Saksham, Harsim, Namisha, Nakul, Mohammad Azam. So many students will be doing it offline. And the students whose name I'm not taking also. So, thus, we can discuss RAM rise now. Okay. And then we'll be done. Okay. RAM rise. What is RAM rise? RAM rise is the difference between static air temperature and total air temperature. RAM rise is the increase in reading as measured by TAT and the increase is over and above the static air temperature. So to find static air temperature for certain calculations, we can find RAM rise with our TAS and then deduct it from TAT reading. So to find static air temperature for certain calculations, we can find the RAM rise with our TAS. Because like I said earlier, the higher is the TAS, the more will be the effect of RAM rise. Lower is the TAS, less will be the effect of RAM rise. Zero TAS when the aircraft is stationary on ground, then the RAM, if there is no airflow, then of course the RAM rise would also be zero. So we can find the RAM rise with our TAS and then deduct it from TAT reading using the formula below. So there is one easy formula. What is the formula? RAM rise is equal to TAS upon 100, the whole in bracket, square. TAS in knots. Important formula, students. Unit, degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. Simple. If you're wondering what is the unit. So actually, I'm not getting an acknowledgement from you. Please let me know. Are you there, not there? Are you following or not? I think she has some connectivity issues, I guess. Must be troublesome. Okay, so that's it. You have two formulas for RAM rise. What are the two formulas? This and that. The other formula for RAM rise is, I'll write it again. RAM rise, I'll write here formula 1, formula 2. There are two formulas. Depending upon what is given to you, you can use any one of the formula. Achal, very nice. Thank you for communicating. Just let me know if you're following or not because of the instability in network. Let me know if you're following or not. Okay. That is more important. If you're missing anything, make a note and quickly send me a picture of those doubts. It's okay if I have to teach everything again to individual student also. I don't mind. Just let me know, okay? Right. Good. Very nice. Very nice. So RAM rise formula 2 is equal to TAT minus SAT. Do it TAT minus SAT only. If you do it SAT minus TAT, then of course you will get answer in negative and your options will confuse you. With answers in positive, negatives, you will get confused. That's it. I'm giving you a question and then solve it and then enjoy your weekend. Question. If, I think this is question number 4 from measurement of elements that we are doing today, right? 3 are done. Question number 4. If TAS is 400 knots, find RAM rise. Quickly write question number 4 and give me the answer. No options. Right now, no options. Just solve it. Of course, it becomes more fun when you have options because then it's like, oh, wow, will my answer match or not? It's like a gamble. It's like a game. It feels fun. Jyotsna, very good, very quick. Achal, very good. Mention the unit, students. It's degrees Celsius. Okay. In this formula, RAM rise is in degrees Celsius. Okay. Directly. But you can definitely calculate RAM rise in Fahrenheit also. That's why I've given you the unit. But in the formula, directly the unit is degrees Celsius. Good. Good, 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 good. Come on. 7, 2 more pending. Saudip correct. Rishi correct. Twarita correct. 3 done. Achal correct. Jyotsna correct. Very good. So Hardik and Saksham. Harsim, I'm not getting your answers on WhatsApp. I will check if he's messaging me on YouTube. Saksham correct. Hardik, confused? Use a scientific calci. Okay, students, so let me tell you, whenever there is a bracket involved, first solve the bracket. I think Hardik also has connectivity issues. I think Saturday, many people are using the internet compared to a weekday. Strange. People should be away from internet weekends. Hardik will join us. Okay. So remember, students, what I was talking about. Whenever you're solving something, your answers are correct. Just make sure that whatever is in bracket, you solve first and then do the square. So TAS divided by 100, 400 divided by 100 is 4. Then 4 square is 16. So 16 degrees Celsius is the correct answer. Very good. Possibly your answers could be in Fahrenheit or Kelvin. So make sure you know how to convert. Okay. In the CX3, you will get a conversion of Fahrenheit and Celsius only, not Kelvin. So Kelvin conversion, students who don't know, just let me know. I'll show you how to do Kelvin conversion. I've taught that in metallurgy, but students are not doing like Anshul and Saksham. I think I'm not sure about you. Sorry, I'm not sure if you remember how to do it or not. So I'll reshare how to do conversion physically in Kelvin also. Don't worry. I'll do it. It's simple. Later, just put it in the to-do list. Degrees to Kelvin. Kelvin is also 1 unit. This is not there in CX3 conversion. Yeah, generally plus minus 273 only, Sordip, but I'll confirm with you all. I'll explain just the relationship also. It'll take some time. Okay, one more question. Question number 5. If TAS is 500 knots, find RAM rise. Quick, what is the answer? Easy. Very good. Jyotsna, Achal, Rishi, very quick to answer all at the same time. Good job. I like the speed. Achal, I know the units are obvious right now, but do mention the units in your text, in your answer. You can simply write C also, I'll understand. But do mention. I want you all to be just conscious about these things every time. Then you'll develop a practice. Good. Saksham. Incorrect answer, Saksham. Saksham, square karo, baba. Square नहीं किया, ब्रैकेट को स्क्वायर करना है. फॉर्मूला देखो क्या है. Look at the formula. Tas upon 100, the whole is square. So tas is 500 upon 100 into square. So formula is 500 upon 100 square. So 500 upon 100, I get 5. 5 square. 5 5s are 25. Students, how to find square? You can also do it in CX3 directly. Not CX3, sorry, scientific calculus directly. Students, if you notice me doing slip of tongue, like if you notice and me doing that, please forgive me for that and correct me if I'm not correcting myself. There was one time when I did in a lecture, I had a slip of tongue and I got so much of verbal bashing from so many people. They were ruthless, because I generally don't make mistakes, When the day they realized I made a mistake, they were hell bent on, throwing me out of that place just because of one slip of tongue. I won't take name of that place where I was as a guest lecturer, but that was the day when I decided that I'm just gonna not teach for others, but I'm gonna teach for myself, because I was not getting the freedom to teach, basically, and that actually was good decision. So that thing, at that moment when I faced that problem, I tried to battle for myself, but then I realized that they just needed a reason and they really wanted me out. And I realized, okay, that is the case. So I simply walked out. But why and what, you don't need to get into that. All I'm trying to say is, as an instructor, chances are that because you talk a lot, chances are you'll make mistakes. It's only human. So please, it's okay as long as we can correct the mistakes. If we don't correct the mistakes and we continue learning with the mistake, then it is a problem. All right. So ideally, in an aviation where we should have, in an environment in aviation where we should have harmony, we should help each other if we are making mistakes instead of criticizing each other. That's how the collective field grows. Only small, narrow-minded people would be like this that you'll come across. I should not say it out loud, but problem is with people from where we live only, not abroad. But it's okay. We focus on our knowledge, and that our knowledge will make sure that nobody is going to create a problem in our growth, no matter what kind of people will come across, narrow-minded or harmonious or jealous, it doesn't matter. Because you will see when you get into the field, you will see it's just not just your qualifications that are going to impact your recruitment. There are a lot of things involved. So like I say, you need to be a people's person also to increase your chances. And to be a people's person, you need to be born like that. So it's not easy. So we give you a few techniques so that when you are talking in those techniques with your airline interviews or other people, they can get a feel that you are a people's person. So we don't try to change your character. We just give you tips and techniques so that you appear to be like that to increase your chances of getting a job. Because the competition would be such that there would be 100 people shortlisted for 10 positions. So how would those 100 shortlisted people be given those 10 positions based upon anything that is better than the other? Anything. Personality, health, attitude, wisdom, eyesight, whatever they can judge you, or maybe how much money you can provide for your training in the airline. There could be anything that they would use to shortlist, from that shortlist to the final call. So that's when your expertise will further, these things will matter then in the end. Not always, but sometimes is what I'm trying to say. So you need to be ready for everything. You never know Saksham will face what, Rishi will face what, Achal will face what, Jyotsna will face what. So collectively, I'm teaching everything. Anyone could go through anything. So correct answer is 25 degrees Celsius. One more question. We're very close to 4:30. That was my estimate to leave you. And okay. All right. Question number 6. If total air temperature at 400 knots TAS is minus 22 degrees Celsius. Find static air temperature. Now, students, this is a two-step method. Okay. How to find SAT? SAT. Simply, I'll give you the solution, okay? SAT is equal to TAT minus RAM rise. It is just a derivation of the formula of RAM rise. I'm giving it to you directly. So there is a formula. SAT is equal to TAT minus RAM rise. So you have TAT, which is minus 22 degrees Celsius. You need to find out RAM rise. You don't know what is the RAM rise. So you find out the RAM rise minus RAM rise. Now, what is the RAM rise? Formula for RAM rise is equal to TAS upon 100 square. So see, you're combining the two formulas now. Is equal to 16 degrees, is it? RAM rise 400 upon 100, 4 square, 16 degrees Celsius. Correct? RAM rise? Yes, no, maybe. Therefore, SAT is equal to minus 22. Now be very careful, okay, doing it. Minus 22 minus 16. What do I get? I get minus 38 degrees Celsius. Achal, good. Rishi, good. Jyotsna, cross check. What's the doubt? Jyotsna, minus plus here and there, or shifting of the elements in the formula. What's happening? Talk to me if you're confused. Hardik, very good. Jyotsna, it's good that you have solved it from CX3, but right now, solve it with the method that I'm teaching you. And give me the answer based upon that. Then we'll compare it with CX3. All right. So there's a reason I'm walking you through the formulas, because then, trust me, sometimes you'll not get correct answers from CX3, which you would require that you would get only by doing these formulas. So in the exam, if you're doing that same with CX3, you're not getting the correct answer. If you have options, and check if it's a closer answer. If your answer and this answer is close, of course, minus 43 and minus 38 are close, then you correctly mark this answer. Then, but here I've not given you options. So that, so now you understand. Then just do it mathematically and see if you're getting the correct or same answer, Jyotsna. Yes, very good. Now, although I've said the outside air temperature and the static air temperature is same, now this is the confusion. This is the confusion. Why? Because let's see what was happening here. What is my TAS? Going to airspeed. What is my TAS? My TAS is 400 knots. My temperature, outside air temperature, I don't know. I need to find out. That's what I said, right? Outside air temperature is the static air temperature. Now, that relationship is true for certain applications, and for certain applications, we don't get the correct answer. That is the case. Okay, so for some calculations, you can use OATS, SAT, and you'll get accurate answer. For certain, you don't get the accurate answer. Okay, so that is one limitation that we have realized, okay, over the course of course, training. So we need to find out OAT. You can try to do that directly also. Mach number is not given to you. Okay, we have not yet dealt with Mach number anyway. TAT is given to us. What is the TAT? TAT is minus 22 degrees Celsius. So you'll press 22. Then the last button in the first row, plus minus, you'll press it once, you'll get minus. Then you press enter. Your CAS is not there, your pressure altitude is not there. So your instrument is telling you, as per the data that you have given, my outside air temperature is minus 43 degrees Celsius. It is unable, or whatever RAM rise this calculator is calculating, it is 5 degrees or 6, I think 5 or 4 degrees different from our mathematical answer. So the CX3 actually needs a little more information to give you more accurate answer, while the formulas can give you the same accurate information directly without any more information as per the question. That is the only difference. That is the reason why you have variation in the answers. Are you following, Jyotsna, why you have got it wrong? In the CX3, why is it not matching? Because for CX3 to give you accurate answer, it requires one more element. As you read from the instruments. Right now, in the exams, the instruments are not given to you. So it gets a little difficult for you to imagine what's happening, why. But the actual CX3 application is for real flight parameters, not just for exams, like I was saying yesterday. So in exams, you will have all the parameters that you need. Okay. If you don't know the SAT, outside air temperature, you could get it from somebody else, from the weather department or someone. But the most accurate reading for your outside air temperature would be coming from your temperature sensing probe only if you could account for RAM rise. Because you are in the immediate vicinity of that place more than anyone else. Got it, everyone? So if I tell you your pressure altitude, now if I give you your flight level as per ISA is to 30,000 feet, then they are giving me my CAS also. Other values are unchanged because my answer was already given. Fine. We'll come out of it. We'll make sure that RAM rise and SAT-TAT formula, it's better if you remember the formula and solve. Try to do it with CX3 also. Couple of more questions you get, compare, and if you get options, check which method is matching, which method answer is matching with your options. Only for a few questions you'll have to do that, students. It is important. If you don't do it, you will have a chance of missing marks on those points. If you do it, you will be accounting for the same. All right. Okay, we are overshooting a time, but it's okay. Just 2 more questions and we are done. Question number 7. Find SAT. Now, first, you will do it mathematically with formulas. Then you will write that answer and then you'll do it with CX3 and check. I can also do it with CX3, so you don't have to send that answer, but you have to do it and see if there is a difference or not. Okay, so first do it mathematically, then do it through CX3. Find SAT if TAT is 500 knots. TAT at 500 knots is minus 25 degrees Celsius. TAS 500 knots. 500 knots means 500 nautical miles per hour. Mach TAT given to me is 25 negative. Negative, right? Okay. C 25 negative and TAS is 500. Good. So you'll see your difference would be higher now. Earlier we had 4 to 5 degree difference in our answer. Now we are getting a much more difference in our answer. So as you can see, the more your TAS is increasing, your difference in your calculation answer and CX3 answer is also decreasing. But it's tricky, it's tricky for the student to determine. That's why, students end up getting wrong answers sometimes, because it's difficult for the student to determine if they should do it with the formula or CX3. I'm teaching you both. Check the options and mark the answer correctly. Simple. Be extra smart. Okay, you never know which moderator is following which method, because there are different methods also, different protocols also, like different choices of solutions. So it all depends upon the moderators now, what they are using. If the moderators are using CX3, then definitely your correct answer would be minus 58 degrees Celsius only. if they're using CX3. How would you know if they're using CX3 or not? So you have to just play around a little bit and be an expert in this and realize that, okay, it's only going to take me 30 seconds to solve it mathematically, 2 seconds, 5 seconds to solve it CX3. Then I'll check which answer is more accurate with my correct options or options, 3 options. If you come to if you find out that normal calculation is an accurate option A and CX3 is an accurate option C, and only accurate option B is incorrect, then what would you go with? If you get 2 same answers, okay, if you get 2 same answers, then mark the first answer as the correct answer, always. If you say get option A, B, and C, and B and C are the same options, and both B and C are the same options, correct option, then you'll always mark B as the correct option. The first one. If A and B are giving you the same reading, A is telling you, let's say -50, and C is telling you -58, and you were smart enough to solve it in both ways, and you got both answers and both options are also there. So you'll be like, oh my God, now which one should I choose? It's like 50-50. Then you go with the first option in the sequence, which is the correct option, A or C. A is first, go with the A option. Simple. Got it, students? You'll remember these techniques, right? These are exam level techniques, which I'm giving you right now, only slow and steady. So the correct answer, as you all rightly said, is -50 degrees Celsius. Anyone has any doubts? Let me know. Any disputes, any debates? Twarita, good that you have corrected your answer. Yeah, I know the minus plus was the issue. No worries. It's okay. -50 degrees, -50, -50. Good. Last but not the least, and then we are done. Question number 8. Gas is 350 knots. Outside air temperature is -25 degrees Celsius. Pressure altitude is 20,000 feet. Find TAS. Now look at the question. The question is not talking about TAT. The question is not talking about SAT. But now that we have already seen examples in CX3, we know all these elements have a place in that airspeed part of the CX3. So just by looking at the question, you should now get a hint that, okay, this will directly go with CX3, while the other things would require formulas. That will also be one way that you'll come across to learn. Simple. Here, if they ask you to find SAT, what would you do? If they ask you to find SAT, what would you do, students? So find TAS, and I'll do 8.1 for above question. Find SAT also. 8.1. So everyone is giving me a constant answer. Let's check. You can see how I'm doing it. TAS 350 knots. Outside air temperature given 25 negative. Mach is not given. Pressure altitude is given 20,000 feet. What is my TAS? Correction. Okay, my CAS was 350 knots. My bad. See, TAS is to be found outside air temperature -25 degrees Celsius. Mach is not given. TAT is not given. CAS is given. CAS is 350 knots. And pressure altitude. So you get TAS as 462.56 knots, which will be rounded off to 463 knots. And with this, you are also getting the TAT. Now that you have got the TAT, find out the RAM rise. Because you have the TAS also, once you have the RAM rise, you'll be able to find out the SAT. So now you know the importance of the formula also. So now you know the SAT and the OAT can have two different values or maybe same values. You'll figure out when you give me SAT. So now you'll see that SAT and outside air temperature might not be the same. So there are certain places where you can assume OAT to be SAT for certain calculations. Otherwise, they will not be the same. So it's not the student's fault, you know. What would the student do? The student will prepare from all ways possible. Simple.
So I've got the RAM rise. Now, do I just take the TAT from the CXT or just assume OAT
No,
as
there is no. Why will you assume? Where will you assume it from?
okay?
You don't have any reference apart from the value that you get in CX3. It's all connected.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone is giving me different answers. Okay, Jyotsna, you have corrected your answer. Good. Achal, good. Not bad. Very nice. Jyotsna, Achal. So 462.56 knots, which I will round it off to 463 knots. That is my task. I'll quickly find out my RAM rise. RAM rise is equal to 463 upon 100 square. Because I made two silly mistakes, I'm more focused if I'm not making any more mistakes. So you should realize whether you're feeling fatigue, stress, saturation. If that is happening while giving the exam, be extra careful. If you realize you're making silly mistakes, good. Slow down, cross-check every step, and then continue solving. 463 divided by 100 is equal to 4.63 square. Just after you get the answer 4.63, if you just press this button, I would say the first complete row of buttons, this first complete row of buttons. Here we see there's no complete row of buttons. This. In that you have the third button, x2, x raised to 2. So whatever answer you get, if you just press this and get equal to, press equal to, you get the answer. So I'm getting 21.43. RAM rise is equal to 21.43 degrees Celsius. If you want, for rounding off purposes, you can take it as 21 degrees also. If you want, you can take it as 21.5 also. Both assumptions are correct. Closer assumption is 21.5. Or I would say if you have calcies, then stick to what you have. Use decimals and calculate. Then just relate your answer with the rounded off answer in the options. Options answers would be rounded off answers most of the times. Now, RAM rise is equal to TAT minus SAT. SAT is equal to TAT minus RAM rise. TAT is how much? 3 degrees minus 21.43 is equal to 21.43 is already there in the CX in your scientific calci. Simply, I have to do 3 minus 21.43. So I'll do 3 minus 21.43. What do I get? Minus 18.43 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent to minus 18 degrees Celsius or minus 18.5 degrees Celsius. All are the correct answers. 18.44 degrees Celsius. Twarita, check your minus plus sign. Hardik, check your minus plus sign, and Hardik, your value. What's wrong with the value? Maybe your formula you have not executed properly. Check. Twarita, any confusion? Let me know. Sordip, Achal, Jyotsna, good. Rishi, where is your answer? Waiting for your answer. Hardik, what's wrong? See, I have solved it step by step. Figure out your mistake. Rishi, correct. Hardik, talk to me, quick. Let's get done with it, students.
Sir, I have taken the formula wrong.
What was it that you have taken wrongly? What have you taken?
TAT is equal to SAT minus RAM rise.
Okay, but we need to directly find SAT. So why you're doing it reverse to reverse to reverse? That will only lead to confusion. So remember, SAT formula I have already given. So use that formula directly. Memorize one more formula. If you're doing 2 formulas, why not memorize the third formula also? SAT is equal to TAT minus RAM rise. Okay, Hardik? Keep it simple. Third formula. Students, measurement of elements is the topic where your formulas and related to formulas applications would come into picture. So I would suggest that you make a separate formula sheet in your notes or maybe a separate sheet. And as and when you are being introduced to formulas from the previous chapters, great circle, drum line, departure, and now, chapter by chapter, you can write the name of the chapter and write down the formula, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Then the next chapter title, and then number 2, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Up to you how you're numbering it. But if you can make a record of your own formulas and make a own formula sheet, then towards the end, towards the examinations, it will be easy for you to keep that list ahead when you're practicing and just look at the formulas, solve. Look at the formulas, solve. So what happens, you don't have to memorize all the formulas, but you can practice easily. And that practice, looking at the formula and solving, looking at the formula and solving, automatically will print the formula permanently in your head. Automatically. So that's why emphasis more on general navigation practice. So Keith Williams, students, I'm still waiting for you all to complete Keith Williams. Come on. Do you understand what I'm saying, students? This is a technique. So if you can make a formula sheet, even if you're not making a sheet, you can keep your formulas open when you're practicing. Keep looking at the formula, solve. Keep looking at the formula, solve. Automatically, you'll memorize the formula. Or you can consciously memorize the formula if it works for you. Up to you. So my SAT, if I would have not known the formula, then even though half of the answer I would have got from the CX3, other half I would have not got, and I would have got stuck on that question. Now you understand the importance of a collective thing. Some questions are easy to get, some questions are not. That's what I was trying to say. Simple questions, complicated questions. That's the difference. Got it, everyone? Hardik, please give me your answer so that I can wrap up the session. Message your correct answer in the chat box. Any doubts, students? Any questions, please ask. Great. Good job. So make sure you remember, I'm not sending you any practice questions for the weekend. So whatever time you get to study, in case you want to spend time to study, if you have, then make sure you work on whatever is pending with respect to navigation. You all know your own agenda accordingly and keep me posted. Otherwise, just enjoy the weekend, keep away from studies and just resume studies from Monday onwards. Okay, it's not necessary that you have to study today and tomorrow also, because next week anyway you're going to study and there will be festival of Rakhi, so some people might be busy. So a couple of days we might end up missing here and there. Live session, probably you. I won't have to miss, but I'm not sure if you all need a holiday. So anyone who needs a holiday on Rakhi, please drop me a message, okay? And they give me the date also when you need a holiday. So whatever festivals come, if you need a holiday, do let me know in prior only. Probably I can reschedule the lecture so that you don't have to miss your live lecture. So I can schedule it that way. Okay, that's it, students. Well done. Let's see how much you remember over the course of time. This topic, it's a new topic. It's an interesting topic, but I'm not sure how much you've grasped. Only in time we'll get to know. So the practice questions, I'll give you sometime live in class only to check whether you can give me correct answers. Or maybe I'll send it as an assignment, but I'll surprise you with that. Until then, do what you're doing. And if you need anything extra, just send it to me. And if something is pending that I'm supposed to send, then just send me a reminder for the same. All right. And any more doubts that you'll come across, put it in the parking lot, keep discussing. Any WhatsApp doubts that I'm not shared, keep highlighting so that it's a fresh message. And I will make sure I do it as and when I find the correct time. Okay, Sardip, do well, feel better. Rishi, doing well, great. Hardik, doing excellent. Jyotsna, doing good, very nice. Twarita, very happy to see you perform in such a level. Very nice. Achal, very good. Even after all the problems you're facing today, you are giving me correct answers. Saksham, although I will still say you are in the beginner's level, you trying to cope up with everyone in the same and understand and focus, it's really good. So overall, I'm happy with everyone, students. In case you're not happy with me, drop me a feedback. All right. I'll see you on Monday morning. Regulations, whoever is joining me for regulations. Others, regulations, RT and NAV. So RT and NAV, others. Saksham, I think you NAV. And everyone knows the schedule. So yeah. Bye. Okay. Bye. And sorry for the stretch, but it's okay, I think. Take care. Okay. Enjoy your weekend, students. I'll see you Monday.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.